Hey y'all, I'm Mandy, and this is Mandy in the Making. Welcome back to another What's for Dinner, where I'm going to show you 3 delicious and easy meals. For the first meal this week, we're going to be making Chickencacciatore. I've made this before. I've made it in the crock pot, and while it was good, I'm really looking forward to this version of it. Let's get started. Chop up this parsley. I am gonna reserve some of it for garnish, but the rest will be going in the dish. The recipe calls for a yellow bell pepper, but my store was out of them, so we're gonna go with orange. I really love this chopper because it speeds things up, and it also makes sure that everything that I'm chopping or dicing is the exact same size. So for this, I want to use my dicing blade instead of my chopping blade. This particular one has 2 different size blades. It has this one that does a larger chop, and then I'm gonna be using the dice for my onion. These are bone-in but no skin chicken thighs, which I could not find in the store, so we just bought bone-in, skin on, and just tore the skin off. I'm just gonna season these really quickly with some salt and pepper. I've got a really hot Dutch oven. You could use a cast iron skillet for this as well, but I'm gonna add a couple of tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. And what we're gonna do first is sear our chicken. So you wanna make sure your pan is really hot. You're gonna sear it on both sides for just a few minutes, and then we'll take it out and we will cook up our vegetables. Now we're going to saute our onions until they're translucent for about 3 or 4 minutes. I'm going to add just a little more olive oil. I'm going to add a couple of tablespoons of minced garlic. Now I'm going to add in my 2 bell peppers and my 1 carrot that has been sliced. We're just gonna get these to start to soften up. I'm also gonna add in my mushrooms. I've got about 8 ounces of sliced mushrooms. I'm gonna add in about a couple of tablespoons of parsley and a couple of tablespoons of basil. I almost forgot, I have a teaspoon of dried oregano. Now that some of the moisture is coming off of the veggies, I'm able to kind of scrape up the really good bits that are on the bottom. We're also going to be deglazing the pan with some wine in just a minute. Now that these have started to soften, we're going to pour in about 5 ounces of red wine. We're gonna let this reduce down for about 5 or 6 minutes. Now I'm gonna add in a 28 ounce can of crushed tomatoes, 2 tablespoons of tomato paste, And this is optional. If you don't want any heat, you definitely don't have to add it. I've got a half a teaspoon of red pepper flakes. I'm gonna add in our Roma tomatoes. Now I'm gonna add our chicken back in. And the recipe says you can cook it here on the stove, which is what we're gonna do, or you can put it in the oven. I'm gonna have the recipe linked below, so you can check that out if you would like to do it the other way. The recipe calls for about 8 sprigs of thyme. I just grabbed a handful. Just gonna put that on top. I'm gonna reduce the heat down to low, and we're gonna put the lid on it and let it simmer for 30 to 40 minutes or until the chicken is falling off of the bone. We're gonna serve this with some angel hair pasta. So I'm gonna go ahead and get our pasta started. It's been about 40 minutes. So I'm gonna add in some pitted black olives, and we're gonna let it simmer for another 5 to 10 minutes, and then it'll be time to eat.
Comes right off. Oh man, this looks delicious.
It's been torture the last 30-45 minutes smelling this.
This house smells so good right now. That chicken is delicious. So much flavor in that chicken. I love chicken thighs anyway, because you can just cook them to pieces and they just have so much flavor in them. I mean, all the flavors of the sauce really permeate the chicken meat. It's incredible. I know this is torture for you.
Yeah, it is a little bit. I'm not gonna lie, but
get some of this. The noodles is a nice touch. I like that.
Well, there's just so much sauce, so it just makes sense to eat it with the noodles. Well, I'm excited to give this a try.
Yeah, this is really good, babe.
Tonight we're making a common takeout meal at home. It's orange chicken. I want to be really transparent with y'all and just let you know, a lot of times when I look at a recipe and it has a lot of ingredients, I shy away from it. It intimidates me. This one has a good many ingredients, but it's not hard at all. And one tip that I have for you is when you're looking at a recipe, even if it has a lot of ingredients, just get to know the recipe. You'll feel really comfortable with it and you'll be a pro in no time. The first thing I'm gonna do is make the batter. We are gonna put the chicken in the batter and put it in the fridge for about 30 minutes. I've got a tablespoon of salt and a teaspoon of pepper. I've got 1 cup of cornstarch. We need 3 cups of flour. I'm gonna whisk all of this together before we add our other ingredients. Add 1 egg, 1½ cups of water, and 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. The recipe says you want this to be the consistency of pancake batter, so if it's not, I can always add some more water. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna need more water. That's more like it. I pretty much doubled the water, just a heads up. We need our chicken thighs. I've got about almost 2 pounds of chicken thighs here. We need them in about 1-inch cubes. Okay, so now I'm just gonna put all of our chicken pieces in here and we'll cover it with saran wrap and stick it in the fridge. I'm gonna make sure they all get completely coated. in the fridge for 30 minutes. We need about half of a teaspoon of minced ginger. If you're enjoying this video and you would like to see more, consider subscribing. So it calls for 1 tablespoon of minced garlic, but Steven's not scared of garlic. He keeps saying, get another one, babe. Get another clove, babe. It'll be okay. The chicken is almost ready to come out of the fridge. We're gonna go ahead and heat up about 6 cups of vegetable oil. We wanna get it to 350 degrees. So we're just gonna deep fry these in batches. You don't wanna overcrowd your pan. They'll take about 5 to 6 minutes. You want them to be a golden brown before you take them out. I've got this really large skillet over here on medium high. I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of oil. To the oil, I'm gonna add 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. And I'm gonna add our minced ginger and garlic. We're just gonna saute this for about 30 seconds. Now I'm gonna add 1/4 cup of sugar and 1/4 cup of brown sugar. Just gonna stir to combine. Now we're gonna add in 1/4 cup of orange juice. And you want all of the sugar to dissolve. Now we're gonna add in 1/4 cup of white distilled vinegar and 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. Adding 2 tablespoons of water to 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. And we're just gonna add this in so it'll start to thicken the sauce. Now we're just gonna continue to cook this until it becomes like a maple syrup consistency. It got really thick really quick, so I'm gonna add a little more water in there. Since I had to add a good bit more water, I added a little more orange juice just so the tang didn't go completely away. I would probably only add about half of that cornstarch mixture if I were to do this again, because it thickened it up too quickly and too much. To finish this off, I'm just gonna drizzle a little bit of sesame oil over top and mix it around one more time. Take out, but made it in house, so homemade. Oh man, yeah, that's really good. Very good. First of all, the chicken is really tender. It's sweet. You get a little bit of spice from the red pepper flake, and you definitely get some of that orange flavor in there too, with the kind of the nutty flavor of the sesame seeds. It's really good. So the only thing I would change up would be to do like double the sauce, just because it was just enough to coat the chicken. I wish we would have had more sauce, so I will put that in the description box. I'll put our anything that we did or that I would suggest to do a little differently in the description box. Grace, what do you think? We don't have anything for you, baby. Our third meal of the week is always Subby Supper, and tonight it comes from Sierra, and it is, let's hope I say this right, Zuppa Toscana. Sierra lives in Toledo, Ohio, and she said that she loves my videos and she's made a good many of my recipes that I've shared. And she is married and she is a first-time mama to a 3-month-old little boy. And she said this is like their go-to anytime it's really cold and they're wanting a soup. It's their favorite fall and winter soup. So I'm really excited to give this one a try. It's a really great one. If you go to Olive Garden, it's one of their soups. So this is kind of like a copycat of that. This recipe calls for 10 cloves of garlic, which makes Stephen very happy. We're tag teaming it.
Tag team.
We're hungry. We're ready to get cooking. To get started, I've got our Dutch oven on medium-high heat, and I've got about 6 pieces of bacon that I've chopped. We're just gonna go ahead and cook this. Now that we've removed the bacon, we left a little bit of the oil behind, and we're gonna add this Italian sausage. This is the hot kind. You could always just get the mild. Now that this is cooked through, I'm going to remove it. Now we're going to saute our onion. Now that our onions are soft, I'm going to add in our garlic and saute this just for about 30 seconds to a minute. Now I'm going to add in 4 cups of chicken broth. And I'm adding 6 cups of water. I'm gonna let this come up to a boil, and then we're gonna add our potatoes. These are pretty thinly sliced, and we're gonna let these cook until they are fork tender, so about 13 or 14 minutes. It's been about 8 or 9 minutes, but our potatoes are ready, so I'm gonna add our sausage back in. And we're gonna add our kale. We're gonna let this come back up to a boil. Now I'm gonna add in 1 cup of heavy cream. We want this to come back up to a boil. I'm also going to add some salt and pepper, and then it's going to be time to eat.
Man, this looks yummy. It smells delicious too. It looks so appetizing. I love the bright kale leaves in there. Oh wow, that's good. It's like a creamy, spicy flavor to it.
Yeah, we've got that spicy sausage
It's
in
very,
there.
very interesting. I love the kale. The kale is very interesting texture to it. It's not slimy.
Yeah.
The potatoes are really good. It's very creamy, spicy. It's just packed full of this of flavor because of the sausage and the bacon. It's very interesting. I love it. It's delicious. I mean, I think it tastes better than the ones at Olive Garden.
That's awesome.
It's got more. I feel like this has more to it than what you get at Olive Garden.
Yeah. So Cole doesn't want to throw his thumb in here, but he does like it. He's got the flu right now, for any of you who don't know, so he's not feeling very good. You hear him sniffling over there. He is on day 4 of the flu, so any prayers and well wishes would be appreciated. Thank you, Sierra, for sending this in. I'm excited to give it a try. Thank y'all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this week's worth of meals. If you did, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up before you leave. And if you haven't already, I would love for you to join my YouTube family. Hit that red subscribe button below. Thanks, y'all. I'll see you next time. Bye. It's all still in there. Let me get that out.
You like mashing that garlic, don't you?
No.
You don't like mashing it? Get it, baby, get it. Get on that thing. Come on, baby. Mash it.
My stomach's growling.
What we have here is a little garlic press. There's nothing like pressing a little garlic to relieve some stress at the end of your work day. Yeah, baby, get in there.
Get in there. Yeah, yeah.
Uh-oh.